This is the 2013 Fuquay-Varina Board of Commissioners Candidate Forum, presented by the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce, with coverage provided by the North Carolina Center for Voter Education. Moderating the forum is Tommy Broadwell, Executive Director of the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce.
We're going to start with the town board candidates, and we're going to arbitrarily start with Sean Hearn. Go that way and then rotate back this way, and we will take the questions alternately all the way down. So, Sean, would you like to tell us why you want to be candidate? Want to be on the town board?
I want to grab the mic here.
Yeah. Grab it and pass it down.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody for coming out and holding this forum tonight. Many of you already know this is my second time around. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sean Hearn. I'm running for commissioner again. And a little bit about myself, I'm a business owner. Many of us sitting up here are. The reason I chose to run again is because I still think there's a lot of things in this town that need to be done. I think that people need a voice. That's the big thing. I'm for conservative government. And I like to try to get the government out of the way as much as possible. As a business owner, I've seen myself how that has restricted businesses, and I think I'm the best candidate because I have experience in that area, and I also have a working relationship with the government and how to get them out of the way. Thank you.
Tom Williford.
Yes, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Tom Williford. I'm local, homegrown boy, third generation on my daddy's side, and on my mother's side, Griffin down in Baptist Grove area. Only the Lord knows how far back they go. So I have a lot of concerns about the direction the town is going in. And at my age, people ask me, why in the world are you doing this? Well, I have a concern, and I raised my children to believe that if you're concerned about something, get involved with it. So I'm a local business owner. I own the funeral home here in town, and I feel like I could bring a lot to this town board and help our citizens as well.
Hello, my name is Blake Massengill. I run for Fuquay Town Commissioner. I grew up in the town of Fuquay-Varina and live here with my wife Heather, my wonderful dog Marlin, and I love the town. I'm a small business owner myself. I own a home building company that builds houses here in Fuquay-Varina and around the Triangle. I'm currently a member of the Planning and Zoning Board here in Fuquay-Varina, so I've been very involved with our issues that are upcoming at the foremost, as we know how important growth is here in our town. I'm also a member of the Rotary Club, and I volunteer for Meals on Wheels here in Fuquay-Varina, and on the board of directors of the Home Builders Association of North Carolina. I'm passionate about our town. I love our town, and I think it's important to have the entrepreneurial spirit, conservative voice at the table. Thank you.
Good evening. I would first like to thank the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. Thank you for moderating for the leadership of this forum. My name is Brian Haynes. Many of you might not know my face, but I am homegrown. I was raised here in Fuquay-Varina all my life. Went to Lincoln Heights, Fuquay-Varina Middle School, and Fuquay-Varina High School. A little bit more about my background is I have a bachelor's degree from Winston-Salem State University, and I have a master's degree from Liberty University. My points and my stance for this election is the 3 Ps: purpose for families, passion for Fuquay, and progress for the future. And that's where I'll be standing with my election. Thank you.
My name is Shannon Rowland, and I'm running for town council. I feel like I can represent the community very well. I've lived here for 12 years. In the same home, in the same neighborhood. I have dinners with my neighbors. I'm very active in the community. I volunteer at all the schools my children attend very regularly. Fuquay-Varina Elementary School, I did Fuquay-Varina Middle School, but now I'm at the high school. So run the booster clubs, you know, take part in the community, and I feel like I have a good voice as a mother with children that are taking part in community activities and sports, and I coach, and I get a lot of feedback from the parents that I come in contact with. So I believe I have a great voice for you here in the community. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for coming. My name is Jason Wunsch, and like Mr. Hearn, I love Fuquay-Varina so much that I'm running again and again. And I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back up here. What I feel like what I will bring to this board is someone who's very passionate, loves Fuquay-Varina. My family and I have lived here for many years. I'm a 1999 graduate of Campbell Law School. I would bring an experienced attorney to the board, which I feel could be a very big benefit to the board, especially one who's practiced in the area of real estate for many years. And I'm just very excited to be part of a town board in such a wonderful town that is growing. I think the town board in many areas is doing a fantastic job, and there are 2 open seats, and I would love to be one of your choices. I'm married with a 10-year-old daughter who attends Fuquay-Varina Elementary School, and I'm the candidate with the funny name Wunsch. Thank you.
Pass it down. Pass it to Tom.
The old guy goes first. Experienced guy, that's right.
I want to say that we're still looking for questions. I've got several questions, and we probably won't get to all of them tonight for each set of candidates, but we have 2 forums. The second one will be at Windsor Point. So if you have questions, please send them in, and I've had to go through them a little bit to consolidate some, but here we go. First question, and if you need me to repeat the question when it gets around to you.
Is it on?
I don't know.
Pull it up towards you.
Now I'm on. Okay, that works better, doesn't it? Okay, if you need me to repeat the question when your turn comes, I'll be glad to. Some of them are rather lengthy, however, so please pay attention. Tom, what do you think is Fuquay-Varina's single greatest asset and why?
I think the biggest asset that we have in this town is the citizens, the residents of Fuquay-Varina, and how devoted they are to their town. They need to be more informed as to what's going on, though. And that's one of my primary things to do, is to make sure that I connect with the citizens that elect me for this position. I think we do have a good town. We have good town leaders. I think we have a great base in Fuquay. I think we have an abundant amount of resources and monies to be spent to expand our town and to make sure we go in the right direction, because this area is growing, folks. It's going to get big, and it's going to get big before we know it. And that's one of my biggest concerns. So I think with me working for you on the town board, I think I have a good base of folks to work with. So I think that the citizens of Fuquay-Varina is our largest asset.
I think here in Fuquay-Varina, our largest asset is our growth potential. We are cresting at close to 20,000 citizens right now. We have huge growth that's coming our direction and great potentials. The town's made great investments in our water and sewer infrastructure. We are using barely half of our capacity right now. There's been designated preferred growth areas that have water and sewer nearby that can continue to foster the growth. Fuquay-Varina, with great planning, can be the 3rd largest municipality here in Wake County. And we're positioned that way because of all of the land that we have around us. The proximity of the roads that come our direction, And Fuquay-Varina has growth that's coming here, and we need to foster that growth, continue to have smart growth, and grow the town in a great direction.
I think the biggest asset for Fuquay-Varina at this present moment is progress. Many of the candidates say we might not be progressing as much as we should, but if we look at different things, especially look at the website now, you can go on there and pay your water bill and all different types of utility bills through the website now. So that's progress compared to many towns. Also, we look at the dog park that just opened up yesterday. We're the only dog park in Southern Wake County that has free admission. Other towns have to actually pay between $20 and $80 a month or a year just to go walk their dogs. Also, we can look at the number of building permits in the last month or so. They are higher than usual. So that's a good thing compared to many of the other towns in Southern Wake County where building permits are at a high in Fuquay-Varina. Also, the tax rate. If you look at the tax rate, our tax rate is one of the lowest tax rates in Wake County, and it's not been raised in over, I think, in the last 12 years. So I think our progress is our biggest thing for us in Fuquay-Varina that is pushing us to the future. Thank you.
I believe our largest asset is the small community feel that we have living here in Fuquay-Varina. Most of us live here because we don't want to live in a big city. We want to be in a community where we know our neighbors and we know the local government officials. We eat at the same restaurants. We attend the same churches. Our kids play baseball together. When I moved here, the third day I was here, the fire department showed up and gave my 3-year-old son a fire truck. And I said, I'm going to stay here. And it has been that way ever since. It is a great community feel. We all look out for one another. I feel very safe. And the job that they have done so far, keeping this area with that feel and the safety and the great infrastructure, is why we all stay here and we don't go anywhere else. And I think that is absolutely our largest asset.
We're very fortunate in that we're a small community, but we have 2 downtowns. And that is what I think, in addition to the things that have been said, is one of our strongest assets. We are a community that is very quaint and has 2 downtowns with tremendous growth potential. We're a mixture of small business and larger corporations, and we have a downtown revitalization association that looks to build up these 2 downtowns. And so in our community, we have, I think, something that not a lot of communities have, and we offer local businesses the opportunity to really thrive in Fuquay-Varina. And I understand recently some have gone through some economic hardships, and I think it's important to encourage local businesses to come in and make it easier for them to come and choose our town versus other towns so they can enjoy being a local business in one of our 2 wonderful downtowns. Thank you.
Well, I think our greatest asset, of course, like everyone has said, is our people and the resilience of our people. I've been in a lot of communities, and there's a lot of people here tonight that's engaged in this process. There's a lot of people here that's been concerned what goes on in the town and have been engaged in that process. And so everything everyone up here on the stage has said, I echo that, but the people just is a community's greatest asset, and what they're willing to do, what they're willing to fight for and stand for. We have a community that's very engaging, and it can only get better from there.
What do you think about the value of economic development incentives at the town level? And do you have any specific incentives you would suggest that could spur economic development in Fuquay-Varina?
Economic development's very important for Fuquay-Varina. All businesses start out as a small business, including your largest businesses out there. Start out as a small business. I believe that economic development needs to encourage the local businesses and businesses that are here to encourage their partners, their suppliers, their related businesses that they do business with to relocate here and to help them. What better situation to have a business that you rely on and that you work with to be located close by than farther away? I believe incentives need to be handled on a case-by-case basis. We need to foster and take care of our businesses that are here at the same time. Don't need to shun a business that's already here for a new business to come in to town. But as a case-by-case basis, depending on what that company is bringing to the town of Fuquay-Varina, whether it's jobs, which is very important for our residents to be able to live and work here, or whether it's expanding the tax basis from a commercial building that's going to provide a much larger amount of tax revenue. But other than that, I would handle it on a case-by-case basis.
I think the best way to advance our economic development is if we're going to have to research and go out and find funding, federal funding and state funding to help all the new small businesses, because many of the people on this stage have small businesses and they know how the economic time might be a little bit stressful for them. So we need to go out and find either different grants or a part of grants or something like that that can help them out. I know we already have an economic development project already underway, and if we get that information out to the citizens more, so they'll know what's going on and know how to be a part of that organization, as well as I know many people say that it's hard to get a business permit in the town of Fuquay, and people have to understand that it's not all the time the town of Fuquay who is limiting them from opening up their businesses. We also have to work to ease the process between the state and the county. So we can ease that process between all of them, so we can make it easier for them to open up their business in the town of Fuquay-Varina.
Town economic incentives for business, I believe is very, very important, but like you said, the ease of doing business is most important. If it is easy for that process to be handled and to find a location that you can open, that of course makes it an incentive in itself. Helping businesses grow, creating committees that help businesses through that process and things like that. That in itself is an incentive, not necessarily monetary incentive. The ease of doing business. As a business owner, there's many obstacles, not only when you first open, but throughout the life of your business, whether you want to grow or open for the first time. So making that easy for them, as long as it, of course, is beneficial to the community, I think that is a better incentive necessarily than just monetary.
Well, I remember 2 years ago we talked about this, and sometimes the difficulty of getting a permit to come here and open up a business, and I've still heard some of that, and I think that if we make it too difficult for people to come to Fuquay-Varina, then as I said a few years ago, then it's going to be then they're going to choose Holly Springs or Apex or another small town where the facade requirements are not as stringent, where there's more of ease in opening up a small business. And so I think that, I mean, obviously we want to have some kind of standard as far as what frontage should look like in some areas, but we don't want to make it to where the proprietor says, forget it, I'm going to another community, because it was so difficult to either get a permit, or the upgrades that had to be made to the property were so burdensome that I'm going to choose to go somewhere else. And I think that tax incentives sometimes can work, especially if you're looking at getting a very large corporation that's going to bring a lot of jobs into Fuquay-Varina. That's happened in surrounding communities. I know just Rooms to Go in the town of Dunn in Harnett County came in and their headquarters and brings a lot of jobs to the community. So I think when that can happen, that's great for economic growth. Finally, I think another way that economic growth can occur is to partner with our Chamber of Commerce. Our Chamber of Commerce is great in attracting area businessmen to come to Fuquay-Varina to open up their businesses, larger businesses. They know what the needs are in the community. So I think as a town board, we have to work with our Chamber of Commerce and help them to encourage businesses to come to our wonderful community.
Thank you. Well, every day I see this in my business. I work a lot of businesses to businesses, and the biggest concern that businesses have when they're trying to open up a business, number one, they're going to contact the town hall and they're going to get permits, and just the regulations that's on businesses. I like to put it this way, just government has to get out of the way of businesses. Businesses will come if you have people in your community. Entrepreneurs want to do business. They want to start a business. It gives a sense of pride. It's the unique thing about being American is owning your own business, as a lot of us up here do. But we've got to work to reduce regulation, get rid of regulations that don't make any sense, and really reach out from the government standpoint to the community, to the business owners, and ask them, what are we doing that's hindering you from being as successful as you want to be? So the big thing for me is let's get the government out of the way. That means get rid of the regulations we don't need. We do want to have a good community. We don't want just any business here. But a bad business, citizens won't visit bad businesses. Eventually, they will go away. It's sort of a self-policing approach to it. But I'm a firm believer in less government is better government.
As a business owner in Fuquay-Varina, I constantly strive to increase my business. Unfortunately, I'm in the business that I'm in. But I am concerned about the downtown, what I call Fuquay Springs area of our town, and how can we grow that? And first off, my first thought is to work with Jim Seymour, hand in hand. I would like to, as a commissioner, I would like to work with him on talking to other businesses and coming into town. I am not against tax incentives. I think tax incentives for a business is a good thing. I think that it brings jobs to our community. It brings people moving into our community and buying homes. It increases the buying power within our community. So I think that's a very good thing. I would like to work with the Planning Development Committee and hand in hand again and see what we can do there. We talked about the town, and I've sort of coined a little phrase called, I'd like to see our town be a little bit more business friendly. And I think we could do that. I think we have good people working in downtown. But I think they need a little schooling as far as customer service is concerned. We also have another big project coming in our near future, and that's the 401 quarter plan. I think that we need to be very involved with that, see where that's going to go, how that's going to involve us. And then also, I think one thing in our downtown Fuquay area that would be good, and I know it was talked against the other night at the town board meeting, and that's a cultural arts center. I think that would be a great, great boost in the arm.
Did you answer that one already, right?
All right, this is a long question, so it's not really a question. It's more of a statement with a question afterwards. So there has been some activity regarding a senior center in Fuquay-Varina in recent months. How involved do you feel the town should be in developing a resource for our seniors that includes recreational, informational, and quality of life resources for that growing segment of our population, and that's to include adult daycare?
Can you repeat the question?
That's your privilege. There has been some activity recently regarding a senior center in Fuquay-Varina. How involved do you feel the town should be in developing a resource for our seniors that includes recreational, informational, and quality of life resources for that growing segment of our population, and to include adult daycare?
I feel it's very important. Me being on the board of directors at Pine Acres Community Center, where we house Meals on Wheels, we deal with seniors. They deal with seniors on a daily basis. So I understand their concerns and stuff that they want to do. They want to play bingo sometime or different things like that, and have other activities, as well as I'm associate minister at Basel Creek Missionary Baptist Church, and the seniors love me. So they always ask me, and they're always talking about, well, we wish we had something to do. They even talk about, we wish we had a prom night for just the seniors to do. So if we start those different types of activities for the seniors, I think they would feel more welcome. I know we do push so hard for youth stuff and different things like that, but we also have to look at the seniors at the same time, because they are the generation that took us to where we are now. So we must pour back at them the same way as they have poured into us.
This is one of my favorite subjects. Most all of my neighbors are retired, and they're all very active, and they've spoke to me on occasion about the concerns about not having enough activities, and how to get there, and presenting that. We do have activities for them at the community center, but I feel like our community has our senior population is growing. We have some new facilities in the area, and that population, of course, is going to grow. And with if I'm here now, I'm hoping to retire here one day. So it would be to my benefit and to everyone's benefit to have activities for senior or an activity center. I think it would be very beneficial to everyone in the community to have that, to get have things that they can engage in, learning activities, recreational activities, day trips, and things like that. An area that they're designated to go to. Right now at the community center, we might have a lot of youth programs at the same time as the senior programs, and we all know that younger people might not be very quiet. So when you're trying to have other activities, that may not be the best avenue for that. So I truly support any type of senior center.
I think as a town, we need to recognize that seniors are a very important part of our town. And not only that there's things that they go to, but things that come to them. I remember as a child, my grandfather taking me to a nursing home during the High Holy Days, and he would volunteer every year and put on a service and for them, and he taught me that never to forget those who are ahead of us in life, and those who are older and wiser. And so I think that as a town, we can promote that by not only offering activities for seniors, but bringing things to them, and also encouraging, as we talked about earlier, people who are building retirement facilities to come to our area so that we can house seniors in Fuquay-Varina, and this is a place that they would want to come to. And so I think that it's going to be something that we're going to have to make a priority, whether a town board would like it or not, because our population is getting older, but it doesn't mean that that population should be forgotten. And I think that we have that responsibility as a town board.
Well, I think our seniors are very important. They add value to our families, to our communities. Like Shannon said, we're all going to be there one day. I think there are things that we can do for seniors. I do think that there are partnerships that we can have with businesses that are coming to town that will open up facilities for seniors. So I would welcome any idea for a senior center or a discussion for that.
I get the discounts. No, not to make a joke of it. Our senior citizens here in Fuquay-Varina, in my opinion, we owe them something. They came before us, and they built this town to where it is today. And we are here now to take over our part of it. We have places like Windsor Point, Carillon, Universal Healthcare, and we have the little patio homes over at Sippa Hall. And the majority of those places are all senior citizens retired. I think we need to have more activities that the town would sponsor. I think we need to have a bus that the senior citizens can travel, go to Raleigh, go to the beach, go to the mountains, enjoy things. Whereas most of them, they don't have a means of getting around town now as it is. So I think senior citizens are very important. I'm approaching that age. I'm proud to have this white hair on my head. And I'm looking forward to my golden years in the future. And I hope that the town of Fuquay will offer things like this.
The majority of the customers that I build houses for are retirees, and retirees are most common senior citizens also at the same time. So I have a lot of interaction with this group of people. Volunteering with Meals on Wheels has also brought me in contact to talk with lots of the senior citizens around Fuquay-Varina. Fuquay-Varina is in a great location from the standpoint that we have hospitals not too far away, and we also have Fort Bragg and access for veterans, which is not too far away also. Senior citizens I believe, want to stay and live here and play here, although they may not be working anymore, but living and playing here. And we do have some good residences around town for them to live at, but we need to provide activities between going to options to go out of town, or activities here in town, or the resources for transportation. But the senior citizens are an important group here in Fuquay-Varina. I believe that senior citizens is a group that does not need to be forgotten. Thank you.
Now the fun part. If you could change one item in the town's budget, what would it be and why?
Well, I got the hard one. I've looked over the budget, and I'll be honest, that is one thing I think this town has been very good at, is creating a budget that works well for this community. When we've needed police officers, they've been added. When we've needed someone for the fire department, they have been added. Personnel in the administration, they've been added. I don't know that currently I can say anything that I would change. It works well. Our community runs great. On an everyday basis, I don't have any complaints on how that is done. They have all done very well. That does not mean that things may come up that changes would need to be made, and I think at that time that would need to be reviewed. But the current budget seems to do very well. It has great planning for the future. It's not overestimating. As a business owner, I can tell you overestimating your revenue is not a good idea. So maintaining a conservative budget is very important, and that seems to be reflected very well in the current budget of the town of Fuquay. And I don't think I would change that at this moment.
I would have to agree with Shannon. I think our town is doing an excellent job with its budget. I mean, and we haven't had to raise taxes. I mean, and we've, I feel like we've allocated money to great places and that we've done well. I think, you know, if I had to pick a change, maybe looking, as we just talked about, to our future and allocating money toward being able to do things for seniors and attracting seniors to our community so that they feel like this is a place that they can live and that they have, as was mentioned just earlier, transportation so that they can get to downtown Raleigh and different areas and even just explore Fuquay-Varina. But I think our town has done a wonderful job. I mean, the fact that we have not had to raise taxes in so many years, and the fact that if you need a police officer or a fireman, has been stated, you get one right away. I just think that we're on the right course, and I think we need to stay on that course and plan for our future because our needs will change.
I echo what Shannon and Jason said. Given our current priorities in town, our budget is spot on. Like they said, when the police department has needed additional officers, they're provided. The fire department, and those are essential things that government can do for us. And I think that their ear has been to the ground when it comes to those things. So I can't say I would change anything given the current priorities.
You guys will make me the bad guy, huh? I've taken a look at the budget, and I've reviewed the 5-year budget as well. I think the town has done a good job to date in spending money. I do appreciate as a property owner, not only a business, but also my residents, that the taxes have gone down rather than going up. Having said that, I don't know if you folks realize this, but Holly Springs, Angier, and Fuquay-Varina, from the period of 1990 to 2000, it grew 221%. From 2000 to 2010, it grew an additional 92%. Right now, we have 32 paid sworn officers on the force, and I think about 4 or 5 civilians. Over the next 5 years, we've budgeted for 2 more officers. Folks, that's not enough. And we have 38 firefighters and 20 volunteers. And I think I saw in the budget that we have planned for hiring 2 more firefighters. Folks, that's not enough. The fire department right now covers 40,000 residents. They cover areas outside the town limits. So they're burdened. They're at their limits. So having looked at the budget, that is the one thing that sticks out in my mind that I would take a hard look at and really consider adding a few more sworn officers at this time.
I'm fiscally conservative, and I would manage the town's money, our taxpayer dollars, as I manage my own money. Our general fund budget is an $18 million budget. Our fire and police, water, sewer, and sanitation are our core responsibilities. Fire and police make up 1/3 of the budget. Those are our core responsibilities that need to continue to be looked after. We have currently the 3rd lowest tax rate in the county. Only ahead of us is Raleigh and Cary, which are bigger towns, more population. I believe we can keep our tax rate low and continue to take care of our core responsibilities, watching after the fire department, the police department, water and sewer and sanitation, and provide those best services for the citizens of Fuquay-Varina.
I think our town has been doing an excellent job with the budget. The main thing is they've been consistent with the economic times. Even when the economic downturn, they were still consistent with not overspending. And I think that's the biggest thing with many towns is they begin to overspend compared to looking at the budget even more. I think the biggest key to that is the 5-year budget plan. When we look at the 5-year budget plan, if you just look at the projects that we have going on from the Johnson House to the Mineral Springs and to even Falcon Park, if you look at how they break them down into phases, many towns want to do stuff at one time. And Fuquay has did an excellent job at wanting to break down each one of the projects into different phases and focus on what's most important in those areas to make them better at that time. So I think the town is doing an excellent job with working on the budget and keeping it consistent throughout the years. Thank you.
What, if any, role do you think the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce should play with respect to economic development in Fuquay-Varina?
Well, first, I want to say that I think we have an awesome Chamber of Commerce. I mean, an awesome Chamber of Commerce. You see other small towns with, and I've been part of other small towns with Chamber of Commerces that don't really do anything. I mean, you pay your membership, and you're lucky if they have one membership appreciation event a year as far as activities go. In Fuquay-Varina, that's quite the contrary. In Fuquay-Varina, there are a number of opportunities for businesses and people to get together and network. And I think that one of the greatest assets of our chamber is they are aware of what's going on in our community. I mean, come to a town board meeting and you'll see our moderator up there at every time I've been to a meeting, he's there. He's aware of what's going on. The director of our chamber is aware of what's going on in our community. And this is very important for economic growth and development because they know the needs of they know what our town's needs are. They know where we lack, what we need to make our town grow, what we need to do to encourage businesses. They are the advertisers of our community. And that's why I think it's very important for the town board to be very aware of what's going on with the Chamber of Commerce, to go to the events, to be part of it, and to work together to build up the economic growth in our town. The Chamber is the pulse of this community. Why would we not work with them?
I have a same experience with Chamber. Jason and I have businesses in Lillington, and the contrast between the Fuquay Chamber and the Lillington Chamber is just different as night and day. Since I've been a member of the Chamber here in Fuquay, just myself, the members have been engaging the staff as far as contacting me and trying to get me involved in the after-hour events and other things. But what I see with the Chamber is that the Chamber is the front door to the community. People who are interested in moving into a community, businesses that are interested in coming here, they're going to contact the Chamber. The Chamber is the liaison between the town, the people. It is the pivotal point for a community. And the Chamber, their success is a reflection upon, or the community is a reflection upon what the Chamber is doing in the community. We have an awesome chamber, and I feel we're going to continue to have that. I would see us continue to foster that relationship between the town and the chamber and the businesses. Those are the partnerships, as well as with the citizens of Fuquay. We have a good mesh, and I think it will keep going, and I think that's going to help us in the economic development in this area.
Well, you mentioned the Chamber of Commerce to me, and you mentioned something that's very dear to my heart. I've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce since I opened my business in 2007. I've been a board member since 2009. I've been the chair of the Chamber of Commerce, and this year I'm the past chair of the Chamber of Commerce. And for the life of me, I can't understand why the Economic Development Committee doesn't allow the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce to sit on that board. It just baffles me. So I think that that's one way that, sorry, Tommy, I don't mean to put more work on you, but I think that's one thing that should be corrected immediately. The other thing is Jim Seymour plays a very important role, in my opinion, to the town of Fuquay-Varina. I think that the chamber and Jim should work a little bit more together. And I think that would help bring businesses in, because after all, the first place they stop is not town hall. If somebody wants to open up a business, they come to the chamber. And that's what I've done in the past in other communities. So That's one of the main things I would change.
Fuquay-Varina does have a great chamber, and I believe its role is to partner with the town and help the town to know what citizens or what businesses need as they come to town, what is involved with starting your business here in town, such as a road map. If you want to open a business here in Fuquay-Varina, this is what you need with the town, the requirements, and the chamber and the town work together. As when a business comes to town, they come to the chamber first, and then they go to town hall, where you have regulations that you have to follow to open a business, and that's what the chamber does. It helps you follow that roadmap. With the Economic Development Office, it should be a partnership with the chamber. The chamber should be able to be involved with the Economic Development Office and also help relay information of what's needed for businesses that want to come to town. The first place that someone does look when they want to open up a business is to the chamber to find out information on the community and what it takes to run that business in town and be successful, and then they find a way to open the business with the town.
I agree with everybody else saying that the Chamber of Commerce is doing an excellent job. I think the biggest thing for me is, even me going into starting a new business, is when you're already in the town, I guess we need to get more information out to the people who are already established in the town. You know, it's different for people who are moving into the town, saying that that's the first place that they go look at. But when you're already in the town and you've been very established, you know, most time you will go to the town hall instead of the Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people, and everybody doesn't have internet access. So everybody, a lot of time, I found out about different activities that the chamber is putting on, but through the internet. But everybody doesn't have internet. So if we find other sources to get the information out to all the citizens of Fuquay, I think it would be a better thing.
I hate to ask, but can you repeat the question?
What, if any, role do you think the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce should play with respect to economic development in Fuquay?
Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss the actual question. I agree with everyone here. Of course, we have a great chamber in Fuquay. I have a business that's also located in Lee County in Sanford, and we don't have anywhere the attention that this chamber puts into its community and its businesses. I think that's very important. I agree with Tom. I think they should be the front line on economic development. They are the voice of business. Businesses come in contact with the chamber daily, not only with events, but they hear the voices of the community, whether they're business owners or not, and that's information that can be used in any process. And with the chamber, with the traffic that it has with business owners, they have a great amount of input in economic development and what the community needs as far as economic development and business relations. They play a very important role, and I think they should be on the front line of that. Thank you.
We really don't have time for another question for the town board candidates. I'm trying to save some time for the mayoral candidates and the school board candidates. So we're going to take just a 3 to 5 minute break here and reset the stage and start with the mayoral candidates.
This has been the 2013 Fuquay-Varina Board of Commissioners Candidates Forum, presented by the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce, with coverage provided by the North Carolina Center for Voter Education. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. To learn more about these and other candidates, please visit ncvoterguide.org.